All right, so this video we're going to discuss your website name. So a lot of people get stuck on how to decide on a website name. They'll spend hours and hours researching and analyzing, and they still can't get the name right, or they're still not very happy with what name they have chosen. Um, with this video, I want to help you and guide through the process of how you can choose your domain name or your website name. Obviously, it's a personal choice, but if I can give you some guidelines that will be helpful for you to be able to decide that name quickly, rather than going here and there and wasting your time and not taking the required action that is required to actually get your products to your customers. So let's get started with this video, and let's help you find the perfect name for your website. All right. So there's few things that you need to keep in mind when you're actually deciding on your store. Okay. The first point is it going to be niche or a general store? Okay. So if it's a niche store, you might as well want to put your keyword which of your niche. Let's say you're going for fishing or camping. You want to try as much as possible to put that keyword in your domain name, so that you get higher rankings, and people can identify your niche very quickly, and then it's easier for them to come back to your website and all that. Okay, for general store, it's actually not advisable to have any sort of niche name in the domain name itself, because if you want, the reason for opening a general store is because you possibly want to try as many different niches as possible, because you're not sure on which niche you're going to go for, or which niche is actually going to work for you. So what I would suggest is not to go for any particular keyword, or a niche name, like saying things like fishing, camping, or survival in the name store on the general store. So that will help you test out different niches within the general store itself until you find your favorite niche. Okay, so in those things, like, you can just have things like shop plastic, or deal shop, or things like that can work. But yeah, just try to stay away from putting a niche name in that particular website if you're opening a general store. Okay, the second and the main important thing is also you need to check if the domain name is available. You can go to websites like godaddy.com, where you can buy domains for around $9-10, and but you can actually, once you decide your name, you can actually go there and check and whether your domain name is actually available or not. And trust me, it can be a frustrating process, because a lot of the names, the good names, have already been taken. There are people who make money out of just registering their domains and then reselling. And especially with the .com available domain names, the domains that end with www dot mywebsite.com, those are the, like, the domain names ending with the .com are very, very rare to find, unless you become really creative, or you get lucky, or you have to pay a higher price to get those domains. What you will find is um, the .com domains are very, very hard to find. You can try hundreds of keywords, and sometimes it doesn't work, because people have already taken those domain names, and some of them make a profit out of selling and reselling them. So it can be frustrating, but you have to, it's an important thing. So we have to make sure that the name we are going to select is actually available on to be used on our website. Okay. Some good things about choosing a name when you're deciding on a name, and the things that you need to take care of is the name has to be as short as possible. It should be attractive. It should be memorable. I'm not saying that you need to. You can only use 3-4 words, or sorry, 3-4 letters. You can make it a little bit bigger, but as much short as possible, as much as easy to remember for your customers, and as much as catchy or attractivity, so that once they read it, the recall value in their mind is, they can recall it very, very quickly, rather than having to think about, okay, what was my domain name, what was the website name where I shopped last time from. Because if they're going to come back, they can easily come back, or they didn't complete their shopping the first time they visited and they want to go back again, the name should instantly come into their mind. Okay, so let's move on. Yes, this is very important. You have to be creative and be unique. Okay, so the more creative or more unique your name is, the better chances of people remembering it, and also you being able to find those domains actually available on platforms like GoDaddy.com or other such platforms. So you have to be very creative and be unique, and just that gives you a chance to stand out. Okay, uh, so that you can build instant trust or build sort of they start to like you straight away if you have a good or unique or creative name. Okay, so that's very important. One thing you should also need to take care of is you do not go for anything which is, you don't copy any trademark names, you don't include big brand names like, we can't say Pepsi or things like that, so that we don't get anything that is in trademark or copyrighted by someone else, we can't use them. So that will give us problems later on. So it's best we choose the name which is not going to get into any legal trouble later on. All right, so that's the way you should think about that. The biggest tip which I can give you is, of course, it's a very important thing to have a very good name. It needs to be catchy, it needs to be this, it needs to be fancy and all that. But at the same time, you cannot keep spending 2 months, 2 weeks, 7 days, 10 days, 20 days to just decide on the name of your website. The biggest thing you need to get is to test different products, not get stuck on the domain name. I see many people, and in the past, honestly, I've been guilty of that as well. I will just get stuck on the name, or I have to put the right name. Name is important, but at some point we need to decide. We just go for something which is good and it's good for your brand, and you just go for it and um, start your journey towards e-commerce success. You can't keep waiting and deciding, analyzing and paralyzing. Okay, I'm happy with this name, but it's not that good and all that. You just have to be clear. You spend some time on thinking about a good name, and then once you know that you've sort of nailed it down, you just start, setting up your website and testing the products on your website and start selling straight away. We don't want to get stuck on this. Trust me, you just need to make progress, because if you get stuck, if you get slowed down in any part of the process, your motivation starts to go down. So you need to make constant progress, keep on making progress every day to help you, go through the steps that we need to do for building a successful store. Okay, let's move on. Just some examples of some website names that are doing well, and they are sort of good. They're a bit catchy, and they have some recall value in there. So you got gearbest.com, fearless firefighter, so very appealing to people who are firefighters. Survivalist depot, so it's easy to remember for people who are, in the survival niche. Fashion booth is another one, which is a good name, that you can model. So instead of fashion booth, you can do whatever, you can camping booth or whatever comes to your mind, or whatever your niche is. You can mix and match things and create your own good name for your website. Viral gadgets is a good one. Lizzie Jane. So names like this, if you have, especially if you have a niche store, these can help you get more pricing from the customers, because if you brand it properly and you do all the nice, pictures and do everything good with these kind of stores, you can actually, the perceived value of your store becomes higher, and because of that you can actually charge more pricing from your customers. Okay, so yeah, these are just examples of what are some of the store names that are doing okay or well. And then you can either model some of these names, or try and do different combination of these names as well. Okay. I'm also going to give you some of these keywords as well, which are sourced from the internet. So what you can do is you can mix and match these words. You can try with trend zone, or I'm sure they're not available, but you can try and mix and match these words, and you can actually maybe use your keyword of your niche or anything that you might have thought of. Okay, I need to include this word in my website name, so you can use that word and put it along with any of these keywords, and you might end up with a very good catchy name for your website. Okay, so I will put this list down as well, but yeah, this is something that you can use for your store as well to name your store. Let's move on. Okay, so just an example of how you can mix match different things. You don't really have to use these keywords. You can come up with your own keywords as well. So let's say, you want to name a website. You can use a keyword of your niche and your favorite animal, a title or a hangout or a fruit, or whichever whatever combination might work out best for you. So I'm just giving you an example here, which is for the survival. Let's say my niche is survival. Okay, I can combine it with something like king, and I come up with the name of survival king. Then I will go to, GoDaddy and things like that, and check if that name is available or not. So that is an example how you can make things. You don't have to be stuck, and you have to be creative and move a few different things. Some people I've seen, they will cut down the survival word in half, and then they will maybe try another second word which might rhyme or match with the survival, and they will come up with one word that is very very appealing or catchy. So that is something that you can try, and just be creative and write down the things. The good thing you can do is write down whenever a name comes to your mind, you just write it down, and then when you have 10-20 different names, it will start to give you some ideas or queuing thoughts on which direction you should go for, and it will help you declutter your mind as well in terms of getting your name right. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, this is a very good tool that Shopify has come up with for e-commerce store owners. You can go to this link here. Basically, it's a very good tool. What you can actually do is you can go to the tool, you can type in your keyword that you might want to have it within your website, and then what Shopify will, or the business name generator will do, is they will mix and match your keyword with many others keywords as well. Like, they will give you hundreds of results, and it's a very very good tool. You must go and try to get your try to generate names, or at least get ideas from there. Okay, so it will find out all these domain names. What it also does is it's actually checks for you whether it's actually going to be available to be registered on sites like GoDaddy.com or some other domain name registration website. So very handy, very very good and easy user friendly tool for you to try, and that will definitely give you hundreds of more ideas on how you can generate your name for your Shopify store or your e-commerce store. Okay, and once again I would like to tell you that you don't have to get stuck on the name for too long. I'm just going to give you a friendly advice on that. We do get stuck on these things, but at the end, it's the product sales, or it's a very good product that's going to actually make you money. Once you become a very good brand, it does come the name becomes really good important. But if you're newbie, you don't have too much money, you need to generate sales first and get revenue or profits into your business, which will help you expand later on. Okay, so learn the system, learn it as much fast as possible, implement the things as fast as you can, and do not get stuck on the name for too long. That would be my advice any day. All right, so I really hope this video was helpful, and it will help you get to your goal quicker. So with that, I'm going to sign off on this video, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.